I'm Bobby Glass. I started my career financial planning in 1973. Prior to that, I graduated out of the Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, New York as an engineer. And I was shipboard engineer for 5 years, running all over the world. So that was my prior experience. Then I wanted to come ashore. And I didn't have really an idea, what can an engineer like me do ashore? And I went around and talked to other firms, and well, basically, they wouldn't pay anything compared to what the Merchant Marine was paying me, running all over the world on ships. So I was wanting to find a job where I could stay home, and I like people, and I wanted to be reasonably paid, but I wanted to be able to stay home. So given that, I met my wife's financial advisor. She was a nurse working at the time, and I got invited to chat with a financial planner. I said, well, what do you do all day? I run around and talk to people. I said, that's kind of cool, I could do that. I said, are you home at night reasonably? Oh yeah, I'm home pretty much every night. I like that. I said, well, can you make any money doing this? Is it reasonable? I said, yeah, I do okay. I said, I want to talk to you, learn about career opportunities. It ended up he hired me. So he became my branch manager of an investment firm back then. It was real big, I won't use names, but they taught us how to do financial planning. So realistically, we were well trained, and we were in Washington, D.C. area. So the territory was wide open, and trying to build a career is 1973. There's a huge recession going on. And I ran out of friends, family, and relatives pretty quickly, so it became imperative that we learn how to meet people. Well, they said, well, you just knock on business and professional doors and talk to them. Okay, I'll try that. So I adopted, my hometown was Herndon, Virginia. That was my town. I made a career promise that I would call on every professional in Herndon. Now back then, 73, there's only maybe a few hundred, but it was a challenge. So I started going down the street, knocking, and the whole thing was getting around to see the business professional, the client, the owner, whatever. So we developed our elevator speeches and how to do that. And so what developed from that, we met a lot of people. Now, I found out real quick I could find pharmacists in the daytime, nurses because my wife was a nurse, and school teachers. Somehow that became my hot buttons. So I focused on those, and I got a lot of referrals. But the idea is that if you can save $25 a month, I know how to help you. Now, the company I was working with had contractual plans that if you save $25 or $50 or maybe $100, but I didn't know anyone that rich. But if you could do that for 18 years, you would end up with a pile of money. We projected $500,000 or something. I mean, it's huge. But that was going out to age 65. All my people were real young. Well, guess what? We had a slew of clients who started putting aside $25 a month. And I felt like I hit a home run if I get $50 a month. Like, wow, that's big. And one client I met at Dulles Airport, and he owned the Gulf service station there. And he invested all the candy out of his machines over there. And it was $500 a month. That's, oh my gosh, this is more money I've ever seen. That was amazing because I had to go to his home and rest and have a drink with him, and I did. And pretty soon I was smashed, and I had to figure out how to drive home and call my wife and say, cancel my appointments, I'm going to bed. So it was a crazy time, but those clients today who started with $25 a month, in reality today, they're all over $1 million. And I just looked back and said, wow, and realistically, it's this discipline, learning how to save money and put money aside in your own account and learn how to invest. And yeah, we use mutual funds, we had a fixed annuity concept, and we had life insurance, and that was it. But that's called a triple balanced plan. But it was exciting then, and when people did that and see their response, that, oh my gosh, this is something I can work with. And then every year I'd go back and have my follow-up meeting with them. They would pull out those sheets I had early on and say, Bobby, you remember this? You showed me my goals here. I am right here, right now. I said, yay! So that's how we built our early career. It was exciting, it's fun. And those clients are still with us today. That's amazing. And that was 1973, so that's a lot of years. I'd have to count. But I am technically retired now. I sold my practice about 5 years ago. And I still help clients on a voluntary basis. A lot of people, financial planning, they just need guidance, whether it's families or just people asking questions. I enjoy a lot just participating in high schools. The kids there, they have career planning days, and they invite us to come in and talk to them. So I love talking to the kids. One day it snowed, so I had 3 periods. It was amazing. But helping the kids understand their financial futures and what they want to do. You just ask them, well, hey, what do you want to do? Supposing Grandma just saw your graduation, you're 18, and she gave you $10,000. Okay, now, what are you going to do with it? And someone said, oh, I'm going to buy a car, or I'm going to take a trip, or I'm going to spend it, or whatever. I'm going to invest it. Oh, great. What would you invest it in? Put it in a bank, I want savings, I know a mutual fund or a stock. Oh, great, well, let's talk about that. What kind of return would you get on that? Oh, I'm gonna get 20%. Really? Where are you gonna put that? And others might say, well, the bank will pay me 6%. Back then it was, 5-6% money. And I said, well, let's project that out. And I knew the rule of 72, which is real easy to put on the blackboard. Your money doubles every so many years depending what your rate of return is. So I'd project, I said, you're 18, you're 28, you're 36. Wow, by the time you're 64, you'll be a millionaire. And we'd play that game. They loved it, and I'd draw all over the blackboards, and we had a lot of fun doing that. One time, a young lady, I met her when I was checking through the line at Kmart. She said, oh my God, you're Mr. Glass. And I was with my wife. I said, yeah, what'd I do? She said, you were the teacher of my class. I was in the high school that you came that day and it snowed. She says, I am so happy to have met you. And it just filled my heart to hear the feedback. But exciting lady, she had taken financial steps to save $25 a month. Yay, I was just so, that was just filling me at that time. I was really excited. I see the success that people have today, and if I've been a little part of that success, I'm excited. But just the discipline and the commitments they make to themselves to complete the plans that we structure together and share and just talk about. But sometimes just a second opinion. They'll come and say, Bobby, is this the best thing I can do? Or I'll ask them, I'll say, are you making the best decision? You want a big car or a regular family car? Or, we could still put some money aside. It's just helping them make those decisions or giving them feedback on what they're trying to do. Financial planning is very emotional, and people really kind of get caught up in their immediacy. And if we can help them just set aside some money for the future, talk about retirement, talk about helping our grandkids, their children, the legacy, just estate planning issues, what you might do now, can you avoid some tax later on? But all of that's in the picture. And I think the biggest thing is just knowing your client, listening to every detail they want to talk about. Give them space. It's funny, but the clients who say, Bobby, I just really enjoyed our interview together, our financial planning session. And a lot of times, I didn't do anything. I just let them talk, and I said, that's great. Well, yeah, you're doing the right thing, or have you thought about this? But new ideas? No, it's all them. They're coming forth, and we're making, not judgments, but feedback to understand really what they're doing and helping them make those decisions. So it's realistic. Financial planning is a privilege. It's being a part of that family group to help them make the best decisions that they really need to make concerning their current positions and their future and who they're affecting. And a lot of times, yeah, we can talk about taxes and estate and retirement, but it's just what works for them right now. It's very emotional. But I get a big kick out of that. I just think it's the best thing that we could do.